Yesterday, I briefly talked about this on our live stream. Tucker Carlson, Fox News propagandist, is now increasingly signal boosting a baseless and wild conspiracy that FBI agents were behind in terms of planning or even participants in the January 6th Trump riots. And we're going to look at a couple clips of this, starting with Tucker Carlson 2 days ago. Listen to him lay this out. Let's take a look.
But strangely, some of the key people who participated on January 6th have not been charged.
Right.
Look at the document. The government calls those people unindicted co-conspirators. What does that mean? Well, it means that in potentially every single case, they were FBI operatives.
Understand the language there. Tucker says it means that potentially in every single case, they were FBI operatives. This is baseless. This is baseless. He's not saying I have any evidence that FBI operatives planned the January 6th riots or participated in them. We know about the issue of off-duty law enforcement participating in the riots. We know about the issue of current and former military being overrepresented in the riots. But Tucker is alleging something else. I'm going to be honest. I don't think Tucker believes this. I think Tucker is doing it because he knows his audience is going to eat it up. Take a listen to what else he says.
Really? In the Capitol on January 6th?
Right.
For example, one of those unindicted co-conspirators is someone government documents identify only as Person 2. According to those documents, Person 2 stayed in the same hotel room as a man called Thomas Caldwell, an insurrectionist, a man alleged to be a member of the group the Oath Keepers. Person 2 also, quote, stormed the barricades at the Capitol on January 6th.
Understand that there are countless reasons why in this court document, some other co-conspirators would be referred to as Person 2 or Person 3, including that they are not. If you look at Person 2's court documents, if there are such documents, the people in this case might be referred to as Person 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. There could be other reasons to maintain the privacy of those individuals. They may not yet have been charged because the cases are still being built, but none of that signals any reason to believe that they are FBI agents.
Alongside Thomas Caldwell.
Yeah.
The government's indictments further indicate that Caldwell, who, by the way, is a 65-year-old man, this dangerous insurrectionist, was led to believe there would be a, quote, quick reaction force also participating on January 6th. That quick reaction force, Caldwell was told, would be led by someone called Person 3, who had a hotel room and an accomplice with him.
Now, understand that when it's convenient, and they do this all the time, when it's convenient, Tucker and others will cite the insurrectionists and not even question their credibility. But in other times, when it's not convenient, they will immediately say, you can't trust these insurrectionist rioters. First of all, they're accused of crime, so they'll say anything they can to get out of trouble. Here, because Tucker is ginning up another one of these furious conspiracies for his audience, these very same defendants are completely trustworthy in what they say.
But wait. Here's the interesting thing.
Yeah.
Person 2 and Person 3 were organizers of the riot. The government knows who they are, but the government has not charged them. Why is that? You know why. They were almost certainly working for the FBI. So FBI...
Remember, there is no evidence of that he has presented. None. You have to know how to listen to what there is no evidence of that.
Operatives were organizing the attack on the Capitol.
There's no evidence
on January 6th, according to government documents.
No. So now he's being tricky. Now he's saying the individuals we are not naming in the documents were organizers. But Tucker is the one saying they were FBI agents. And Tucker is now building on the first minute of this segment as evidence for the second minute.
And those two are not alone. In all, Revolver News reported that there are, quote, upwards of 20 unindicted co-conspirators in the Oath Keeper indictments, all playing various roles in the conspiracy, who have not been charged for virtually the exact same activities, and in some cases, much, much more severe activities, as those named alongside them in the indictments.
So understand that, first of all, Revolver News is a right-wing media outlet of questionable credibility. Number two, still no evidence presented that these are folks from the FBI. So then the next day, Tucker doubles down and actually brings on Darren Beattie from Revolver News. And again, this is how you propagandize to ignorant people.
Congress because they oppose the regime? Even Vladimir Putin's not doing that. And there's a former assistant director of the FBI calling for it on television and no one noticed. So we're rounding people up. How about rounding up the FBI operatives that rioted on January 6th?
So now he is, without evidence, just assuming this from his previous segment. And remember, no evidence has been presented.
Identify the guy who shot Ashley Babbitt to death. This is crazy, and we should resist it. Darren Beattie heads up Revolver News.
Here we go.
Glad to see him tonight. Darren, thanks so much for coming on. It sounds like, according to this, I have to say, remarkable piece that you've just put up late last night.
Stunning
right in
piece.
bed at midnight, that the FBI was organizing the riots of January 6th.
So to Tucker, it sounds that way because of this article. Now the guy who wrote the article is here. Let's listen.
Well, yes, it certainly suggests that possibility. And I'm hearing from...
It suggests the possibility. I don't even know that we need to listen to more. It suggests the possibility. This is all a house of cards with no evidence.
People that this is the most important and the darkest investigative piece they've seen in years. But the American people...
The people who support Revolver News are the ones telling Darren Beattie that. So we don't even need to go further. And you guys, if you know me, the FBI is not uniquely good or uniquely bad. Intelligence agencies in the United States and in other countries sometimes do things we would call good and sometimes do things that we call bad. It is not about that. It is not about, we now love the FBI. We now love the CIA. This is all based on nothing. Tucker's story is based on Darren Beattie's story. And Darren Beattie shows up and says, well, there is the suggestion that it is possible that FBI agents might have actually been the organizers of the January 6th riots. If you have evidence, I want to see it and bring it to me. And I will be the first to say, look, we have evidence of that. No evidence. This is now going on multiple nights on Fox News, and not a shred of evidence has actually been presented. We'll have more on this on the show Instagram page. Follow us on Instagram at David Pakman Show. One of our sponsors is Curiosity Stream, giving my audience 25% off. I love documentaries. If you love them, you really have to have Curiosity Stream, the streaming service offering thousands of documentaries from some of the world's best filmmakers. It's like Netflix, but just for documentaries. I've been watching it nonstop. Curiosity Stream has an app for your TV, phone, tablet, Roku, game console. I recently watched The Secret Lives of Sharks. Fascinating stuff. I've noticed Curiosity Stream always has the biggest and newest documentary titles, including stuff you will not find on other streaming services. They're regularly adding new documentaries to the lineup. You're not going to run out of good stuff to watch. When you go to curiositystream.com/Pakman, you'll get unlimited access to the world's top documentaries. Just for my viewers, when you use the promo code Pakman, you will get 25% off a subscription, which comes out to only $14.99 per year.